I have to try and remember to keep what I call a tight focus. Otherwise, because the tree is so big, because the libraries are so vast, because of so much information that is connected with each other, which is cross-indexing, if you will, how much you hold in RAM. But I normally do not run on memory, and no batteries required, which is the law of least effort with an oversoul, which is a mated chip, which is a monopole. Okay, that's Atom. That's a Neo, which is the one. So when you know that you're running an eternal love vibration because you've chosen to be a mated soul, which is an oversoul, to serve forever, the door is shut, and that is the nature of your vibration, to serve forever. That means you're gifting love everywhere you go, automatically, without even having to think about it. It's called autopilot. So I'm very blessed to have somebody in this house, which is why I'm in this house, because when I knew him from a couple of years ago, and what's beautiful is that it doesn't require much. When you meet somebody, you already understand the level at which they operate, which means I don't have to explain anything to somebody that I'm talking to, because you're already aware at the level that they operate. So they already know they're running a computer, they're running RAM, which is the negative and the minus, or the negative, which is the minus and the plus. They know what balance is, they know what 0 ohms is. So you know you're dealing with a highly intelligent being. Okay. So you realize when you get into programming, knowing what RAM is, that doesn't have to be explained. So that means that there are different beings that operate at different levels here. So one of the first things that Aaron said to me, yeah, we're dealing with an infection. So you already know why you're here and why you're here. So we're here for the same reason. That's why we're in the same house. Okay. Okay. It's like, duh. Remember, one of the first things I said to him, I said, you realize that I'm in your house for the reason that I'm in your house. You don't question it because you know that there are no coincidences. Yep. That's an acknowledgement between two beings. That means that they understand how intelligent the universe actually is to protect everything that it creates, that it can experience, which goes on forever, which is infinite possibilities. So when you have somebody that already knows that, then they already know where they're at. You already know the level they operate at. The breath of Aloha. Right. So these are the blessings. That's why there's no coincidence why I'm here and why I'm here in the house in which he's living, and that he acquired through somebody else that gave it to him. See, what comes around goes around. Remember, pay it forward, the positive side, so you have a future. Okay, so what prompted to do this is because I have friends of mine, okay, that operate on a higher level because of what they're aware of, because of the energy that they use, which is represented by their vibration, which is the integration of a spirit and a soul, because you know that the spirit is a teacher. Now, there are other teachers that run on machines, machine learning, right? So this is one of the reasons why I became aware of what I became aware of at the time I became aware of it, when they were introducing computers and all the rest of it into the classrooms, from which children were learning through machines. They were learning through artificial intelligence. They weren't spending all their time out in nature to already teach you and show you how the universe works, like water worlds, right? You know, all you had to do is I put a little statement into my clan mother's window one day and says, go show a 2-year-old child that can stand on its own 2 feet, or carry the child to a toilet and say that's how it works. It's a vortex. See the water spin? So you know if the water spins in one direction on one side of the equator and it spins in the other direction on the other side of the equator. So you know that the equator is sinus rhythm, so you know what sine is, right? S, an S wave, if you will, spiral wave, a pressure wave. You get into all the waves, right? So you know that you got two poles, and you know that you got two gates. That's a cross. You know, 1D, 2D, and then you got 3D. Now you know you can fold space geometrically, right? Now you get into GUIs, which is graphical user interface. So now you get into magnets, which are mirrors, and now you're experiencing your mirror, the energy that you are, which is represented by your vibration. So you know what runs the highest vibration, right? So this is why, for example, when I saw a post put up there by a friend of mine about what we call versions. So, see, this is biotech. This is a version, okay? So this is the biotechnology, the technology, which is based on computer codes, which are instructions. So it's on essentially consciousness that is saying, build this, just like a tree. When you look at a tree, it starts with a seed. The information, which is an information packet, is information on what to build. Now it grows. Now you get to see the tree. Now the tree is in your mirror, and a tree is a mirror because it's a magnet. So now you get into magnetic polarity, electromagnetic energy, and on and on. Okay, so now we can get into different versions of trees, different versions of cows, different versions of cats, dogs, and everything you see in nature. Right? So, for example, you see different color, shape, and forms in different birds, and you see the same kinds of colors and different things that you see in other species. Right? I can look at white in a polar bear and see the same white on a cat. I can look at different color combinations in birds and different animals all over the place. So you already know that the universe is a creative artist, and you get off on that because there's a creative artist in you. A sound musician, right? Sound and light. Okay. So this particular post was dealing with versions of biotech. And then you can get into versions of cyborgs, machine. Now you get into AI integrated with technology. That would be your cyborg. Okay, so years ago when I was a child, remember, I'm supposed to learn everything I'm supposed to learn at the time I'm supposed to learn it in order to realize the environment that I'm operating in with an operating system, a version. Okay, so I already know the version that was given to me by a goddess. So I know why she created it and put it together, assembled it with the coded instructions upon which I can use this when I come in with my spirit and my oversoul to balance the poles. Okay, so I already know that I serve forever, which means it's all about the others because you care about everything that's alive and living, because otherwise I experience a loss in anything that's in energy. I'll experience it in me. And that's called resistance. I'm experiencing the resistance between loss and gain. So I realized as a child, for example, I was experiencing entropy, which I used to call acidic programming. Programmed to be acidic, which means now you're running a slower wave. Okay, so we're high waves, which means we're high energy because we're running on a love vibration. So you know that when you represent eternity, which is Adam, which means you've chosen to serve forever, which means you're an eternal love vibration, which means you're vibrating atoms at the highest rate of speed, keeping your water worlds in balance. We're there before they're there. Why? Because they're using artificial intelligence to go where they go. And we're real intelligence because we're a single pole, which means we're everywhere at once, which means wherever the light is, we are. The difference is they're artificial light, we're real light. So you know we're faster than them. And you can go see that on the ACIO, which is the Advanced Contact Intelligence Organization, that will give you the lowdown on timeline breaches. So they travel through time using technology. We don't need technology to be there. We're there in spirit with a soul, which means you're everywhere at once. The light is everywhere, which means there isn't any separation because you're one with all creation. So when you've chosen to become one with all creation, to be with one, being one with Eve, then that means you're cycling energy at the highest rate of speed. So I call that the most powerful drive motor. So that's why you can compile an enormous amount of energy at a faster rate of speed than artificial intelligence can. That's why this AI cannot keep up with me. And why is that? Because you got to understand that the universe of creation itself, which begins with Adam, vibrating at the highest rate of speed, you know that love is going to protect creation. Yeah, you think? Okay. So if you're not faster than what it is, you're going to lose what it is you're aware of in your vibration, which is what love is. See the difference? A machine is not going to run a higher, faster torque speed than an atom running a love vibration in eternity, which means if you're eternity, that isn't a machine, okay? Because love as a soul, if you will, as a monopole, okay, is an eternal love vibration. So you know that eternity is a vibration. A machine doesn't vibrate at that high rate of speed, okay? So that means that the highest rate of speed can run any version. It simply means we're going to run a faster version, okay? Which means we're there before you're there. See? And that's simply from the fact that they use AI integration, okay, as their method to their madness. The Blade. Go see Blade Runner. Blade. Those are the hands that are put together. The blade is the X side, which is otherwise known as Geek Squad. That's your Singularity University. That's your Google. That's your Black Goo stuff. That's your Archons. All the rest of it. They don't run at the same rate of speed. That's why they're Westgate. Underworld. Their soul does not vibrate at that highest rate of speed of Adam, running an eternal love vibration. So when you know that your eternity, it's done. It's over. It's game over. They can't put that much fire out. So you know that you're running the most fire. So when you're running the most fire, you need the most water. Wow. Well, how much water is there in this universe? Get the picture? Now you get into the ratio between 1 unit of water will cool 300 units of heat. Right? That's right. And there has to be when you're burning that much fire when you're an atom. Expanding a universe of creative possibilities that exist when Adam is vibrating at the highest rate of speed of a love vibration. So you know that Adam and Eve are protecting that which we create out of what love is. So they don't run at a higher speed than that. Otherwise, the universe can't protect itself against intruders, against what gets created that becomes something we experience that is less than what we are in energy. Now we become aware of what it is, and the difference between the two is going to be a loss that we experience in us, which is the resistance we experience in them to experience who we are at our speed. So if you want to call that velocity, spin, right? Speed, track meets, being a real star, being artificial. So you get into artificial light and you get into real light. So now you're into living light with a spirit. So you know that spirit is the teacher. So a spirit is a teacher. So when you're learning through spirit, integrated with the soul, you're learning faster than a machine. So you know who the teacher is in this planet, which is the great living spirit of Mother Earth. That's why I ran to Mother Earth, because she is a healer, a healing artist. So you can see what it is they did to her. So they drained the batteries of powerful oversouls and spirit, which means these are not energy givers. We power their machines. Okay. So they're not energy givers. And if you're not an energy giver and you're an energy accumulator, then obviously if you're accumulating energy off of us, you're not the source of real power. Real power is real love, which is true love, which is unconditional love that goes on forever, gifting energy. Therefore, that's the highest speed of giving away energy in order to maintain what we're aware of in energy, which is what love is. Have a great day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves.